Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions on the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin. All right. I think it's about that time, Jim.
What time?
COVID update time.
Oh, boy, I love COVID updates. It's been so long.
Oh, that just sounds so fake from the both of us. That's it.
Did we just are we past the slowing the curve yet, or are we still in the slow the curve?
No, I think we're past it.
We're past it? All right.
Yeah, and I think because, I'm sure you know, a lot of places are starting to open up. A lot of states are opening back up or returning to some sense of normalcy. And in those states as well, a lot of the military installations are doing the same thing. So I think we're well past that now.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
Doesn't mean we're not going to have this second wave, third wave, or whatever wave coming, but we'll see.
Yeah, so it's interesting because you still see stuff in the news that's, well, I mean, first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the whole Fauci email things that
Right.
revealed a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes that some of us knew, some of us refused to believe, some of us, maybe even skeptical now even, who knows. But
what could you be talking about, Jim?
I don't know. I'm just speculating. People, some of us, some people. Yeah.
So what have you read about his emails?
Well, for one, he knew, the whole mask things. He even actually wrote it in an email about the masks not working. They weren't effective in an email back in the day before. And it wasn't advocating, so people can get them. It was clearly, you wear the mask to protect other people, not to protect yourself. So even if he had came at that approach, I think if there was just a little transparency, even if he had said, look, you don't need a mask unless you're sick. If you're sick, wear a mask. Then people might not have freaked out, and it could have probably been more effective. But hindsight, neither here nor there. So that was one of his emails. The origin of the virus, how right now all the people chewed on Trump said it was from Wuhan. Whoa, the lab. There's actually emails in his stuff. I mean, for those who don't know, that it was a FOIA request that got all these emails, and they had conversation. Fauci had a conversation with somebody thanking him for downplaying the coronavirus origin from the lab theory. And I mean, it's just some crazy stuff. And then he was talking about, remember he was talking about that they weren't paying for, or America wasn't involved in the, what the hell's it called? When they make it worse, what do they call that? Made the virus worse intentionally so they can discover it. I can't remember it. You know how in the labs they were making the virus stronger so they can figure out how to defeat it in case it ever got stronger.
Oh, okay, I see.
There's a word name for it, but I can't remember. It's whatever. So so Fauci's emails kind of revealed a lot of the nonsense and lies, and a lot of people died. So,
what do you mean by nonsense and lies? Lies by whom?
Oh, by Fauci, I think, by our government. About the establishment.
You think Trump had a part in that?
Yeah, I always default to what you say, he was in charge. Mm-hmm. The problem with Trump, though, here's the problem with Trump. So many people hated him, even on the inside. I can only imagine, could you imagine if you're the boss, you got a promotion, right? And people didn't like you. You got a promotion. You think they're just going to all run around and start kissing your butt now and saying, hey, Mike, this is what you need to know. No, they might not. They might want you to fail, so they might withhold information. They might give you misleading information. So I really don't know. I don't want to make a call on that because I think Trump he's a little smarter than people think, but I also know that those people, they're ruthless. They would probably set me up for failure if I went in there. So I don't know if he knew. So what do you think?
I think you'll go through the fire. Support that guy. I tell you.
No, like I said, I just put it in your like I gave you a scenario right here in your backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, if your neighbor doesn't like you, you think your neighbor's going to start telling you, oh, hey, if you want to save money here, you can go to this insurance. No, they're not going to share crap with you.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. He was in charge. That was his guy. They stood up there together, said things together, and now you're finding out all this stuff. I believe he knew.
Well,
I
he
have no
said that,
reason to think otherwise.
but he said it also came from Wuhan, and Fauci was just to downplay that. So they disagreed on things. So at what point does Trump and Fauci collaborate on something, and at what point do they just completely disagree? Where are they getting their information from? He clearly wasn't getting it from Fauci because he didn't believe everything Fauci told him.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I'm not giving him a free pass because, like you said, he's still ultimately responsible for whatever
Yeah.
happens under him. I'm just saying I'm not convinced that people weren't withholding things and lying and manipulating it because that's what they do up there.
Well, I mean, let's just take little bits and pieces of it. Like you said, the time frame of when they found out. He was already accused of knowing well before. I think March was kind of like the catalyst, if you will. And they knew since November the year before is what was said. So now the emails, you could say, confirm that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just on that point alone, to me, I'm like, damn, why'd you wait? National security? You can't really say that because it was affecting the it was it was affecting everyone globally, not just
Right.
America. You know what I mean? So I'm like, eh. And it's kind of like what one of our previous guests has said on the show about how in different countries they responded differently. I think it's more like it's because they could, and we can't do certain things in America, or maybe we can, and we're just not willing to spend the money, which is kind of stupid when you look at all the stimulus. But hey, so I'm not
Well,
going to give anyone a pass. Is my point. If a libertarian was in there, I'd be like, "Yo, what's going on?"
the
You
world would
know,
be over before that
why?
happened.
Why? I know. But even if a libertarian was in office, I say, hey, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the bad with the good.
So with that perspective, and I like I appreciate that because, like I said, I understand that and I agree with that. But with that perspective, I mean, if they didn't pull the alarm, it could have been exactly what China was doing. China didn't pull the alarm quick because they were snatching up resources. So do you put it past the United States from waiting a couple months while they start snatching and protecting their resources before they're all over? Like you don't put it out now in November. Hey, prepare because then everyone else starts buying masks and equipment and all that. You know what I mean? Is there some sense of selfishness?
I would agree with you if it wasn't for our president, our leader at the time, making comments about this being a hoax. This is a left wing conspiracy, things of that nature. If you're sitting there and say, hey, we're going to keep this close hold until we research, investigate further, that's fine. That's fine. I get it. We're both military. We've been in situations like that. So, but now when you start making comments like that, I'm like, nah, I can't give you a pass.
So that one, I got to see that. I can't see how he was saying it was a hoax, and yet he was the first person to shut down traffic or international traffic while Pelosi and them were all saying, "Oh no, come to Chinatown." No. Like I don't know why he would call it a hoax and then do something before anybody else.
I don't know neither.
Because I think that's out of context, and I think the hoax is the way they play everything, the way they play it. I don't know if he meant the virus was a hoax. And even now, hindsight, you can almost look back and say the way we played the game, coronavirus game, that kind of was a hoax. The whole hype it up, make everybody wear masks and all that stuff. Yeah, so I don't even think he's definitely off base, but I understand if that's the perception. I don't know. It's got to add up to me. But either way, we're not talking about Trump here. We're talking about coronavirus.
Yeah.
Because,
and the emails.
Yeah, the emails, I mean, there's more coming out, and they'll be damning enough just to see that Fauci had some conversations on the backside that make him look like a complete fool, complete liar. But nobody's going to really care anyway. It's just like the Hunter Biden laptop. It's going to be no big deal, except for the same people that always get upset.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was going to ask you about the origin. You know, how the media now even flipped. That now they're all of a sudden they're interested. Oh, it may have come out of that lab, that viral lab or whatever it is. Why would you think they'd flip now? Like for the whole time they were saying, "Oh no, that's crazy. It's a conspiracy theory
What's a conspiracy theory?
that the virus came from the lab." Because China said, "No, no, it came from the wet market,"
Well,
and then they said,
yeah,
"Oh no, it came from Americans."
right. But I think the reason now you're talking about people on the left here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the reason why it's flipped because they're using it to their advantage, plain and simple. American politics 101.
right.
You know,
Back when they could hurt Trump, they said it was fake, and now all of a sudden Trump's gone. Now they're going
take
to use it
credit.
for their favor. Yeah,
Yeah, take credit
yeah.
for it.
We got to the bottom of it. Yeah, we found out. We showed them.
And what does that do? Now that's gonna kind of like throw a blow at him if he even is still considering coming back in 24. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It's politics, man. You have to
right.
be. Well, I think a blind person can see it. Yeah, yeah. I was about to say you have to be a blind person not to be able to see it, but even a blind person can see that stuff, man. And I'm like,
Right.
I just, I don't even question it anymore. You know, I don't because that's just the way it is here in America.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's just politics, man. Everybody sees the politics in this crap, and that's what's so scary because we all suffer from it. I mean, there was another article about what was it Massachusetts? Yeah, Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker announced that all remaining COVID restrictions are lifted, and nobody's freaking out saying it's oh that's crazy, that's crazy. There's no liberal media going crazy about that.
mm,
Like when Florida did it, it's a big deal. You're going to kill people. You don't care. Now Massachusetts is doing it, and there's nothing. It's just crickets. I mean, it's all politics. It's just so sad.
yeah. And like you say, the American citizenry, they're the ones that suffer.
Yeah, but they're also the ones falling for it.
Yeah,
I mean, they're the ones that are sitting here like lapping this stuff up. Like, oh, look, your stimulus check here. We're going to take 15 grand from you and give you back 1,200.
yeah, yeah,
Ooh, ooh, I get a paycheck.
yeah.
Ooh, like it's crazy.
A lot of people look at it as an extra paycheck. Yep.
It's crazy, and we're the
Yeah,
ones sitting here with like, duh, are you serious?
yeah.
But
So what
yeah.
do you think about places opening up now? COVID's
Well,
slowly but surely going away.
I mean, I don't know.
Not
Like I
totally,
said,
but you know.
yeah, I'm not convinced it's going to go away. I mean, even there was a report of a new strand or something, or I mean, there's always things popping up.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like little things are popping up about the vaccine. Also, people are having blood clots now.
Right.
Some people developing blood clots after they received the vaccine. So it's like, damn, is this going to be like the new flu? Every year you got to get a COVID shot now, not a flu shot, but a COVID shot.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, because we did discuss the time, right? Because there was a
Yeah.
6 month period put on that shot, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I just saw another headline said new study shows coronavirus immunity may last for years. Now, I don't think it says anything about a vaccine.
Right. So now, would that be if you had it and you survived through it, or if you got
Well,
the vaccine?
isn't that the whole principle that we started on with the slow and the curve? There was talk about what they call herd immunity,
Right.
right? We tried to get herd immunity so that enough people had it that we'd all become immune to it.
Right.
That was the whole purpose. And I think that was another angle that could have been taken to protect the old people and let all the young people become immune to it so that the virus couldn't start anywhere to get the old people.
Mm.
But we didn't do that. I mean, well, some places did, but some places put all their old people in with the sick old people. Right, and they're not in jail yet. In fact, they're still in
Why you
government.
want to put them in jail?
Well, I mean, for killing people, why would I put somebody in jail for killing anybody then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's a politician. He has immunity.
Oh, he's bigger than the politician.
Mm.
He's got a punitive vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny that we mentioned that New York just had a day with 0 reported coronavirus deaths.
Get out of it. Oh, death. Okay.
Deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
So
bad.
that masks work. Or it was the mass exodus of the coronavirus people that were leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it, moving to other states.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Says
So,
the little Fredo Cuomo, he can come back out of his cellar now.
so do you think the masks were working?
For what they intended, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think the information out there was so misleading. I remember, don't you remember, I think I might have talked about it on the show, when it very first started, they used to talk about the N95 mask,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And I remember, dude, clear as day, I'm like, these people are saying that's the only mask that works, blah, blah, blah. I went to the website of the manufacturer, and it clearly said that is it a one-way valve that all the air comes out the valve. So that one isn't even good in protecting other people.
Right.
Because you're
Yeah.
literally, that's the purpose of it, is to shoot all the air out and not let the air in. So that one, maybe combined with the other one, might have made actually a full mask that might have done something. But
Yeah.
maybe that's where the two masks came from, the M95 and then the regular surgeon mask.
Yeah. So what do you think's going to happen with all these emails coming out?
Nothing.
No, you don't think it's going to like Fauci's going to? I don't know. It's going
No.
to help him, hurt him.
Well, he's going to get a book deal no matter what, but it's
I think he had that already.
well, he's already a celebrity.
Yeah.
And all they got to do is discredit, just like the Biden laptop. Like, I mean, literally, dude, I don't want to talk about the Biden laptop and coronavirus, but they literally have a receipt from Hunter dropping off the laptop. Like, what more do you need? Like, what do you need? What do the people need to see? You don't believe the receipt is real? Ask the Bidens. They haven't denied it, right?
Right.
So ask Fauci. He needs to be challenged in the press. Hey, what about these emails? I'd be curious to see what comes from that.
Right.
You know, did you really say this? And in one of the emails I remember, there was some mention about China stepping up their nuclear program and their long-range missiles and, you know, the surface, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, like adding more to it. So that would assume that there was a threat that if we persisted on the investigation of the origin, that we were threatening war. That was what I understood from one of the emails. And in that case, I mean, I get why the government might downplay it for that, you know, to avoid that. Maybe if we're not ready for it, oh, well, no, we won't investigate. So maybe the government has a legitimate reason to lie to us. Maybe Fauci does have an out here, you know? Maybe he does. But if Fauci knows, but Trump didn't, or Biden doesn't, then I'd question that. Like, why would Fauci know, but, you know, the other leaders don't?
Right.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to come of it, how they tap dance around this. Or they just do what tactic? Well, here's the question. What tactic do you think the mainstream media is going to use to deal with this?
I think they will they'll be very selective in the emails they post.
The
You
ones
know
that
what I
are
mean?
easy debunked or
Yep.
that they can actually create an excuse for,
Yep.
and the others will disappear like they never happened?
Well, you got to think the media really. I don't know. Would you say the mainstream media, do they like Fauci or dislike him?
I think that's a hit or miss. I mean, I don't.
It's kind of neutral there, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen him beat up on per se, but I mean, I don't think they always agree with him.
Right. I mean, well, there you go. It's say the same thing as the Trump administration. They
Yeah.
didn't always agree with him, so it's just some level of neutrality there, you know. So
And it also depends
I
how
think
deep-
I think they'll report on some. Most of the media outlets will report on emails that show him in a good light. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I mean, because even here it says email shows Fauci ignored warnings over China's fake COVID data. So,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
right, and here's another surge in coronavirus cases reported in Chinese city, prompting mass flight cancellations at country's busiest airport.
Ooh.
So you think this is resurging back in China?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Could you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine. I just I mean, like, I don't know, but I guess it all depends. Tell us what's true. Do the vaccines work? Do the masks work? Are we okay now? Are we safe if we're opening up? Obviously, the stuff worked or didn't work, or, you know, what's true?
Right.
I don't know what's true.
Same here.
Yeah.
I just sit back and watch.
Well, I mean, but you see, like you know, we talked about different countries and different ways they handle it. Like you saw Canada. I know we made fun of Canada a little bit, or I did at least. They took it to the extreme, and I don't know why why people would be okay with that. Like even here in our own country, some states did more, some states did less, but ultimately, why would it be okay trusting the people?
Is it
It's like
what?
me. It's like me coming in your house and telling you how to raise your kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why are people okay, with that, but or they're not okay with me coming in and telling you how to raise your kids, but they're okay with all this other nonsense being told what to do? Is they think they don't know enough, or they don't have enough responsibility in the case? Like, is there not enough skin in the game? Like, what
They
do you think?
trust the government.
I can't believe they trust the government. I think overall trust in the government is probably low.
Yeah. Okay. What would be your response to that question?
Well, I don't know. I'd probably lean more toward the backyard theory. Okay,
Mm,
I'll play the game because it doesn't bother me. It's no big deal. I'll just wear a mask. Okay, I'll stay at home and get paid and not go to work. Or, okay, you know what I mean? And then when it hits them, when it's in their backyard and they realize, holy crap, if I was some busboy making $10 an hour, now I got a paycheck. But since I own the restaurant, I don't have any money.
right.
You know what I mean? So I think part of that, well, there were people that resisted a lot of this stuff from the beginning. But I think part of that, people went along because it wasn't in their backyard yet.
Mm.
I don't think a lot of people, see past their nose. That's what I always used to call it.
Well,
You know,
I agree with you. I agree with you because I've been saying it for years now, ever since my boy DC said it in Afghanistan. The average American does not care about many things until, like you just said, it hits their
yeah,
backyard.
yeah.
You know. So yeah,
I
I can
mean,
agree with that.
well, the other side of that coin, though, is like what you said: is people still do want to get involved. I mean, you couple that with the fact that they interject themselves because they want to be significant. You know what I
Right.
mean? So they don't care about immigration, right? But they'll inject themselves into conversation because they have opinion about immigration, but they don't really care about it.
Right.
They just
Right.
want to be
Right.
heard because they have an opinion.
Right.
And I think that's probably a worse combination. At
Mm.
least if you don't care, just shut up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Let
Yeah.
people who care talk about it.
Yeah.
So instead of just chiming in with your point or value in the thing, just shut up. Don't you don't care, then don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's actually worse.
Yeah.
And with all this
I can
social
agree.
media, everyone's got an opinion and it's all over the internet. And some people are
Yeah.
getting rich for
And
them.
and you're gonna hear my opinion,
Yes. Yeah, we can't guarantee you're going to like it.
but we promise we're gonna enjoy giving it to you.
Yeah. Why aren't we getting rich on our opinions?
I
Maybe our
don't
opinions
know.
stink. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes we're on opposite sides and they both still stink.
But think about this. If you think about this, like we're in a class of people. We have a label, okay,
Yeah.
veterans. We carry a label that's really significant in a lot of the outcome of this. Maybe not veterans per se, but we're connected to the people that matter. And I think our military is a huge player in a lot of this stuff. You pick a topic, and the military can somehow find its way into that conversation because security is a big thing in America, right?
Yep.
So no matter what it is, whether it's bringing reservists to the White House, I'm sorry, the Capitol permanently, or whether you're questioning their loyalty. I mean, it really they're your defense. It's like a a knight going to battle and not checking his armor. You know what I mean? Like we're in the heart of every conversation because of that. If it's even from racism, all that stuff, if the place goes crazy, who do they call?
Mm-hmm.
They call the military in. They
Right.
call, National Guard, whatever. So we are the heart of a lot of conversations.
Yeah, that's true. It's a true statement.
So I think our
Why do you
opinions
think a
should
lot?
matter.
Yeah, I think they do matter, but why do you think a lot of vets are quiet?
Why are they quiet? I don't
Yeah.
know. Are they quiet?
Yeah, I mean,
You
just
know,
generally speaking.
I think maybe because we're used to war, and when we see this stuff, it's like, nah, this is like even the erection on the Capitol.
Yeah, the insurrection. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That was laughable. It wasn't like, okay, get the troops, everybody meet at the, like nobody was thinking that.
Right.
Even though in the moment it might have been scary, but it would have been no less scary to be in the middle of a large protest downtown and people smashing on your car. Like,
So, do you think no one was thinking it because the assault, if you will, was against politicians.
Well, I mean, they might have had a play in it. I
Yeah,
mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's a lot of military guys who know the system, know how it works, and they don't trust their leaders either.
yeah,
So they might look the other way. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think the common veteran knows the difference between an insurrection and a riot gone bad.
mm.
Some of us in the military might have been
So
smart enough to even run and get a free TV,
right,
instead of putting
yeah,
on the gear.
or putting on some what do you call that thing with the horn, the buffalo hat?
Yeah,
Yeah, and getting a photo op down there at the Capitol.
right, right.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, obviously, well, let's be real. It's PTSD stuff and war, and I mean, it changes people. So we do have that fringe group of veterans who are off the hook. I mean, they are. I think we talked about before that whole Q movement. Like, I didn't even know what that was, that
hmm,
QAnon thing.
yeah,
But I just heard, what's his name, Flynn, said something at one of those. A Marine stood up and talked about some coup, and he's like, why couldn't that happen here? Did you see
yeah,
that?
yeah,
And really, Flynn he just destroyed every credibility I think I ever had in him, because when he came out and posted that, oh, he didn't say that, and you could hear it. Like, are you serious, dude? We just had these conversations about things, and you're
yeah,
gonna say that? Like, you could say I didn't mean that.
right,
I was just kind of nodding my head, didn't realize what I just agreed to.
yeah,
Man up, you know what I mean? But to say you didn't say it, like, now you're no better than the left wing lunatics that do this stuff all the time.
yeah. If he would have just been a stand-up dude, he would have been more
Yeah,
right wing,
and I he would have been a what?
more
No.
right wing.
Oh, I think he said an all right wing. Dude, you're an all right wing. You're all right. No, but like I said, for most of the time, the tables were, Flynn was picked on, he was targeted, is all this stuff and all that, and right there, that one little thing right there, I don't know, I don't, I'm not a guy who likes to just ruin everybody's credibility for one incident, but you clearly have to own this. I mean, you have to
Yeah,
own it. You said it,
yeah,
and he didn't, so that puts a bad taste in my mouth of now, what else was I misled on? What else did he do that I didn't know he might have done?
anything else,
Yeah.
Jim? Come on over. Come on. Come on. I keep trying to tell you, I'm gonna get you there, man.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I got to go with what I know. Obviously, I don't trust any of them. I mean, anytime
Mm,
they get up in the spotlight, I know how it works. I mean,
yeah,
celebrities, all these man-made celebrities. You see it. Just go look at
yeah.
TikTok.
Right,
All these
right.
kids that pretend they're this and pretend they're that to get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
not
no different than
surprising.
our political positioning that we're in right now, and I've been
Right.
seeing it for years. So
Right. And then you get mad. Here you are going on a TikTok pretending you're this that so you get clicks and make a lot of money, and then you get mad because the government lied to you. Like,
yeah,
what? Like, are you serious?
right, right.
You
They've
know?
they've been doing this long before you, man. So
Right?
go ahead and sit down somewhere
They're
and
just
enjoy the show.
they're just in training.
Yeah,
Yeah, politicians in training. They should call it
yeah,
Politalk or something. Politalk?
yeah. You do something on TikTok to get clicks. They do something to get votes. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Well, votes is obviously equals power equals money, right?
Yeah, but some
So you
people,
for
what do we
both.
say? That
Yeah.
fame, money, status, power. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
sad.
yeah,
And that's kind of sad too. Which probably coronavirus is all about that.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
oh,
once
even
again we're at an impasse. Which way do you go? Which side do you want to follow?
yeah.
You know.
And even here, some more. German government investigates coronavirus testing fraud in the country. So remember those talks about the testing, skewing the
Yeah.
numbers, and
Yes.
like there's just so much deception around all of
Yeah.
this. Like nobody's going to deny deaths are real, but the deception, the numbers. Like how many people do you know that had got the flu this year?
None.
I don't know anybody who got the flu.
None.
Yeah, nobody.
No one.
So we eradicated the flu, right?
Yeah.
So now we don't have to get flu shots anymore, right?
Right.
Or do we? Because so it never comes back.
No, I never heard of anyone getting a flu shot this year.
Right, because
No.
we're washing our hands and wearing our masks, right?
Mm. Yeah, the mask. Here we are
And
back to that.
I'm not going to lie that probably helped, sure.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I think people don't realize is like, they say keyboards are the nastiest, but if you don't share your keyboard, you don't really have to worry about that. But
Mm.
gas pumps, we all use
Yeah.
them. I
Yeah.
kind of missed it in Jersey. They pumped your gas for you.
Mm.
And I think that should go back to that. Let
Yeah.
professionals, trained professionals, pump gas.
Trained professional pumping gas.
Well, I know you say that, but at least then you don't have to touch it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I thought that was a good thing. You
Yeah.
know, maybe you paid a little more, but heck, keep them employed. You give them jobs. You know, and then
Mm-hmm.
they could wash your windows like they used to and do all that cool stuff. I mean, but gas pumps are nasty. Think of all the people that touch those things, the
Yeah.
handles.
I actually use a washcloth when I go.
Do you? Well, I
Yeah.
do to sanitize my hands now all the time when I
Yeah.
touch them. But yeah, no, that's right. You're good. That's smart. I should probably do a washcloth too.
Yeah. And I keep it right there in the car.
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
good idea. That's a great advice. You guys out there hearing that?
Oh
Right
God.
from Mike. Carry your little hanky with you,
Yeah,
your little
somebody's gonna
tissues
say
or
something. Somebody's gonna say something.
your
Oh,
little
now
mic
I gotta
rag,
carry it. Oh God.
your little mic rag with you.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
So
all
what do
they
you
gotta
think?
do is just lick the pump then. Say
Yeah,
what?
there you go. What
What?
do you think? Let's do a coronavirus prediction.
uh if we think things have opened up now, give it about 27, 28 days from now. They're gonna open up even more.
So you think we're out the woods in here? You think we're gonna come crashing back down come the colder months?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. And the reason why I say it is going to open up more because they're all gearing up for 4th of July. You seen what
Mm.
happened on Memorial Day weekend? Oh, 4th of July, they're going to open up even more.
Yeah, but I
It's all
think the
about that money.
summer. I think the science in the summer was that the virus couldn't spread as far or fast in the heat. So it was normal. I think when it first started, that was their science, is that the
Right. But
droplets
now,
dried up
here we
quick.
are again, though. What do you
Mm.
believe? Who do
Well,
you believe?
right.
You know
Well,
what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they said
general
this.
science to me,
Yeah.
water add heat evaporation. You know, I mean, I get it. Like that to me
Yeah.
is like, okay, that makes sense. If you
Yeah.
spit on this sidewalk, it's going to be gone quicker if it's hotter. Like that makes sense to me. I don't know
Right.
the virology and how that works, but you know,
But okay, so in the summertime when I'm speaking, does the average distance of my spit coming out of my mouth that no one really sees, but it's still coming out, is that less than 6 feet now?
well, it does change because of the
It does.
density of the air, right?
Okay,
Isn't that
that's
what
what I
the
was
weather's all
asking.
about, right?
So maybe that's what, maybe, okay.
Air is weather density, but I don't know
Yeah,
if it's because when things heat up, they separate.
right.
When they cold, they come together. So
Hmm.
maybe colder air, all those molecules, everything in the air is closer, and yeah. So maybe
You realize what we're doing here?
yeah, I know, way out of my
Okay.
league, way out of my league. But it's funny because this is basic like high school stuff or
Yeah,
even middle school stuff I learned, maybe even elementary. I don't know.
yeah,
And yet we got people out there who can't even figure out if you can smell a fart. Clearly, there's molecules getting through your mask.
yeah.
I mean, like, so I don't know. My
Good.
prediction is it's coming back. It's going to come back again. If it's just a norm like a flu shot, it's going to be a new virus or a new strand or it's going to be something. It's coming back, especially right around the primaries coming up and all that. So this tool worked once. They're going to use it just like racism. It's going to be in the belt. Pull it out when they need it.
Mm.
So it's
Oh, you
coming
mean
back.
they put it away
Well,
sometime?
no, not everyone, but some
Right.
people have. Yeah, some
Oh,
people
okay.
put it away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll see.
yeah, we will,
Yeah.
and we'll report on it.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Yes.
All right.
So we will move to our ending. We'll pull the pin on that, and we'll move to our favorite ending where we can pull the pin, person of the week, or just a shout out.
Person of the week, wouldn't that be a shout out?
It could be the same, or you can just shout out your buddy or your homie or whatever. Doesn't have to.
Oh,
Didn't have to do anything significant. You could just be like, "Yo, what a shout out," whatever.
what the hell is wrong with your neck?
Don't you have to shout out like this? Isn't that like a
I
standard
don't
shout
know.
out?
You know what you look like when you do that? That
No,
guy from Family Guy, giggity 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 giggity.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know, but you gotta. That just reminded me of that. But for me, if I want to shout out someone, I'm gonna shout out a vet. He's up in Alaska. His name is Danny. His name is Danny. I'm not gonna say his last name because I've been quoting this guy for since we've been doing this show. And it's like I told you, my boy DC, he always said Americans don't care about, you know, anything until it hits their backyard primarily. And ever since he said it, I've just been sitting back watching, and it's been true. And I just want to give him a shout out. You know, hey, I appreciate that life lesson. And yeah, thanks. I'm just waiting for the next one. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
I agree too. Wise man, right? I'm going to stay with the veterans, but I'm going to go a different way. I'm
Uh-oh.
going to share an experience I had at the VA hospital.
Oh my goodness.
Was taking a buddy there, a friend who needed some medical attention. Anyways, so I show up at the hospital, and there's two policemen out there. I don't know. They might have been DOD police. I wasn't really concerned what they were. It wasn't like I was in trouble. I was just like, hey, where's the emergency room? First of all, I had to wait in this really long line to get on the hospital grounds because of COVID. And then I get to this place. I'm like, where's the emergency room? There's one here. And the cop's like, oh, just park there. They'll valet for you. You can take your buddy in a wheelchair, whatever, and go in. So I parked, and I told the guys not to park my car far because I'm not staying, because I had to go back and attend my children who were left alone in a public place that I didn't really want to leave them in to help this friend, right? So I was a little panicked, a little worried, stressed out because my kids, were somewhere alone. But they were in a public. My daughter was at the dentist, so she was in good hands. So she wasn't, but she was still going to be there by herself when she was done. So I go into the emergency room, and I got my buddy, and I'm about to walk through, and this dude stands up at the counter. He's like, "Hey, where you going?" And I assume they're veterans, because I think the veterans, they hire veterans there, right? So he stands up and he's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Dude, my buddy needs, to get to the ER. I don't have the time to stay. Where do I need to take him? What do I need to do?" He's like, "Well, you can't go yet. You're not even wearing your mask." I literally had it in my hand, right? So I wasn't worried about the damn mask, I said, "Well, okay, that's great. Well, I'm going to leave him right here." I put him on a chair and put the shoes on the counter. He's like, "You can't do that. You get them out of here." Like, he's yelling at me in this lobby. And I'm sitting here like, and he's like, "You want to argue?" I'm like, "Do you want to argue with me, or do you want to help him? Like, what do you want to do? You want to argue with me, or do you want to help him?" Finally, the guy sitting next to him looks up at him. He's like, "Oh, easy now, easy now." And he looks at me, and dude, just 180 calmed the whole scenario out. "Hey, we'll take care of you. Hey, can you grab a wheelchair?" Like, dude just took charge, man. I mean, he just took charge. He put me at ease. He understood I was in high stress. We're in an emergency room. Like, I don't know what the problem with the definition is, but people don't walk in there and bring crumpets and tea and be like, "Hey, how are you today?" They obviously come in with this state of mind, which I was in. I'm not going to lie. And this dude still wanted to sit there and argue with me and give me this look, standing up like there's like 6 foot something standing up at me. I'm pretty tall myself, but I wasn't even intimidated. I was like, whatever, dude. And I just couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. They took him in, took care of it. I was like, okay, thank you, bye. Why is this guy working there? Like, why is he working there? And thank God for the other guy next to him. I want to give this dude all the kudos in the world, so I'll shout out him. I don't know his name, but I mean, he handled it right. This dude was like wanting to fight a veteran over some policy, and maybe it was the mask that freaked him out because I didn't have my mask on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just like, "Are you serious? Like, this dude needs help. You have no idea what's wrong with him." And I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" So that's what I'm pulling the pin on. If you were, I've said this before, any public service stuff, especially if you work in a veteran hospital and you're a turd, you're an ass that just wants to fight and argue, go find another job. And if you are in the veteran service and you're hiring these people just because they're veterans, no. Go find somebody who really wants to work there and can do the job. So that is my pull the pin.
Did you file a complaint?
No, I should have. I didn't do it because I was obviously stressed. I had to run back and go get my daughter. I was actually even going to go, just not even a complaint. I was going to go give the other dude kudos.
Yeah.
Go, at least call the supervisor and say, "You need to recognize this dude because he did what he should have did." And this, I should have.
Yeah, it's one thing I learned is that a lot of times, like hiring managers in general, they don't know because we don't report.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that would be we didn't know. I didn't know. I had no idea. It's
Yeah.
the ones that say, "Yeah, this ain't the first time we heard about this guy," but they keep him on. That's the
Right.
problem.
Yeah,
That's
where
definitely
that
very
sounds
fun.
familiar. Where's that sound
Yeah,
from?
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, speaking of, before I get fired, I'm going to pull the pin on this show, and that is all the time we have for this episode. We hope you enjoyed. Enjoyed. Why did I say joyed? Enjoyed. You
Joy
know,
to
Mike.
the world.
Sometimes, Mike, I think
Uh,
you just have to speak for me. I'll just move my lips, and you do the talking. No, didn't
F
work.
the
All right.
world.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. Get involved. PullThePinAlready.com. And until then, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.